I mean, Coach Andy Reid is only 5 years younger. If I'm not mistaken, Skip, like 5 years younger than Coach Belichick. And so when Coach Belichick got Tom Brady, he was like in his late 40s. Andy Reid gets Patrick Mahomes. He's in his late 50s. So that's a different story there, Skip. I don't believe that now. I'm going to do it like this. If Andy Reid coaches until he's 70, he's 62 now. If he coaches until he's 70, that's another 8 years. They should be very disappointed if they don't have at least 4 Super Bowl wins between them. Mahomes and Andy.
Okay.
I think that would be a great, Skip, to get the 9. So many things, because it's harder to win championships in football, Skip, because it's a one game. Skip, somebody hits a 55-yard field goal, a tip pass, and it's over. It's not like basketball or series, Skip. You got to beat somebody 4 times. That's different. And for Tom them to do what they did, I don't think people realize how hard it is. You covered the game. I played it. It's unbelievable. I don't believe we'll ever see a streak like that. Just like I don't believe we'll ever see what the Celtics did in the 60s. I don't believe we'll ever see that again. You're not winning 11 championships in 13 years, Skip. That's not happening.
Nope.
I don't believe we're going to see what the Patriots did. But this might be the closest thing we see. Because Patrick Mahomes is 25, because the talent around him is so young, they got it locked up. He gave them a very friendly deal, cap-friendly deal, that they can sign players. Now, if he wanted to be a jerk about it, says, you know what, no, I need all the money. I need you to pay me what I'm worth. I need that $500 million. I need it to be $200 million fully guaranteed. I need the max value that I can get. But he didn't do that. He gave him deals because if you look at it in the first 3 years, he's actually making less than Deshaun. So he gave them an opportunity to keep pieces around him. So over the next 8 years, if they don't have, including this one, if they don't have 4 Super Bowls, Skip, I'm going to be very disappointed, and I think that would be disappointing on their behalf.
Okay. Now my take on this. For me, this whole segment, the 2 topics we've done, were both LOL topics, because when I heard last night that somebody was saying that LeBron was going to cement his legacy as the GOAT, I laughed out loud.
It's already cemented.
And then this one, that there are actual comparisons catching fire across the internet that Patrick and Andy are going to be the next Tom and Bill. It's just a big laugh out loud to me because it's wrong. It's so disrespectful to what the other 2 men accomplished for how long they accomplished it. And here's my problem. Andy Reid's one of the great guys in the business, as you know. Your brother played for him. I mean,
yes, he was the OC for my brother.
And by all accounts, I don't know Andy, but he's a good man with a big, good heart.
Yep.
So this is nothing personal, but for all those years, especially the years in Philly, I viewed him as a guy who could really coach offense, who had little to no interest in the other side. He had the late, great Jim Johnson for a while, who helped prop it up on the other side. But Andy's teams notoriously would get to the playoffs, and they weren't physical enough to win playoff games because it was soft, it was finesse, it was trying to out-cute you on offense. And if you look at his overall playoff record, if you take away the 3-0 last year, the run, he was 12-14 going into last year, which is not bad. It's just not great. It's a lot of playoff games that he got to, but he was sub 500. And if you look at him in championship games, most of them NFC championship games before last year, the AFC championship game, if you do the one before against Brady, obviously, he was 1-5 in championship games, NFC and AFC, going into last year. So he hadn't been very good in the biggest game in the conference each year. So the problem with Patrick and Andy is that it's all offense, and I give Steve Spagnuolo huge credit because he's starting to shape up a defense that looks really legit to me. It sure did on Monday night. But the problem is, if you're looking at Belichick and Brady, it was the perfect quote-unquote marriage. It was really a rocky marriage, but one guy was a genius on defense, and the other guy was the GOAT on offense. Well, that will work because the twain shall meet, and you got dynasty longevity.
I think the thing is, Skip, is that what Coach Belichick did, he did inherit some very good defensive pieces that were already there. You know, and they drafted well, and you have to do that, Skip, because the Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs, And they're going to have, 12-4, 13-3 records. So they're going to be drafting at the bottom. So it's not like they're going to be able to get an Aaron Donald unless somebody slides down in the draft and they're able to get that type of defensive player. So they're going to have to hit. Now, they hit, looks like they hit on Hilaire. But at some point in time, Skip, you're going to have to start hitting on defensive players. And then
Chris Jones is
Chris Jones. You got Chris Jones.
Okay.
You got him tied up.
Yep.
But hopefully, what the guys start doing later in their career, it's like, you know what? I've made enough money. Let me go compete for a title. And then maybe you can get some quality veterans like the Patriots were starting to do.
Okay.
And fill out that roster that way. Because offensively, with Kelsey and Tyreek and McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, they have the pieces offensively.
Okay.
Skip. The question is, like you said, defensively.
Okay, here's why I need to see another playoff run before I start talking about dynasty.
Yes.
What happened last year? Seriously, they fell shockingly at home behind the Texans, right? Mm-hmm. And they fell surprisingly behind the Titans, right?
Yep.
Now, they roared back and won both games. Mm-hmm. I got it. But to me, those were bad signs because the Brady teams, they never fell behind at home like that.
No.
They got blown off the field in the Ray Rice game. That was one bad game.
Like 08, 09,
okay,
yeah.
Right? That was the one bad home game.
Right.
But this was shocking where early on in the first half, it looked like they're hopelessly out of it, right?
But the thing that Andy has working in his favor, at 25, Brady wasn't considered the best player in football.
Heck no. No.
This kid is that right now.
I got it. I'm going to say it one more time. I love this kid. He is wildly gifted. He's got a great nature and personality. Mm-hmm. And if you let him start having fun out there, you're in big trouble because he has a lot of fun.
Yes.
Okay, I still look back at this past Super Bowl and I say, I'm not convinced over what I saw. His QBR was middling. It was 64.
Right.
He did some really good things and he did some not good things because he threw that late third quarter interception. Mm-hmm. They're down 20-10 and he throws a pick. Then he turns right around early in the fourth and they're still down 20-10 and he throws another pick.
But Skip, think about it. When Brady came back and beat the Legion of Boom, they were down 10 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, they were.
And he threw a pick. Remember, he got picked.
Okay, but they were up against a Russell Wilson who was about as on fire in that game as we saw against the Cowboys this past Sunday. So you're having to fight fire with fire. In the fourth quarter, Jimmy G went 3 for 11 for 36 yards with an interception and missed Emmanuel Sanders with the throw that could have changed our conversation because he was open at the goal line.
But think about what the 49ers defense had just done 2 weeks earlier to Aaron Rodgers in the championship game.
I got it.
So they were playing at an extremely high level. And most people thought once they got down by 10, oh, ain't no coming back from this.
Okay, well, I got to tell you, I didn't see Patrick Mahomes keying during the Super Bowl.
Oh, he key. Oh, Skip, the man went over there to the sideline. He's talking to his OC, Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
And if Eric Bieniemy doesn't get a job after this year, I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to call Commissioner Goodell personally myself.
You should do that.
Skip, he says, do we got time for WASP? EB goes over to Big Red and said, hey, the kid wants WASP. Dial it up.
Okay, it's 3rd and 15.
Dial it up.
31-yard line, and you're down 20-10 with 7.5 minutes left in the game. And you get a rusher right in your face, and you basically no-look throw it to your left, where you hope that Tyreek is going to be out there.
He knows he's going to be there.
And you throw a punt, and Tyreek has to stop and come back and wave for a fair catch. And it turns out to be a 44-yard gain that changes the Super Bowl.
But think about it, Skip. What this kid can do, there are very few people, and you saw it on display Monday night, there are very few people that can throw the ball 58 yards in the air off their back foot. This kid was retreating, had a big D lineman draped on him, and he threw the ball 50 yards in the air.
Okay.
Only one guy can do that, off his back foot, retreating, with a guy hanging. One guy, that's it.
Okay, now I've seen big arm quarterbacks.